I'm going to stand. I just feel a bit more comfortable. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm actually going to look at the wellness discussion through the relationship, the changing relationship between bosses and workers, how they've changed over the course of my working life, if you like. I've been working for over 50 years. For the first 2 decades, the norm was still very much workplace and home, 2 different entities. Your employer focused on your workplace and did not particularly care about what you got up to during your non-working life. With respect to wellness, employers did care about you at work. Most of them saw it as their responsibility to provide a safe working environment. If you suffered an injury at work, an occupational therapist may be called upon to deal with it. But what you got up to when you left work, they did not see it as their business. Today, that distinction between workplace and home life has become very blurred. Now, COVID and remote working certainly had a role in this. But the loss of the separation between home and work, I would argue, started a long time ago. The trajectory today is towards employers paying more attention to our lives outside work. I see this as a big problem, as it undermines our personal autonomy, which is very vital to the way we develop as individuals. As Hannah Arendt, a philosopher, explained, we need our private lives because a life spent entirely in public becomes shallow. Employers' intrusion is very much manifested through the work wellness agenda. Now, actually, there are many studies demonstrating the blurring between work and home. These focus mainly on 2 aspects. One, about people bringing work back to the home, hence all the discussion about you not responding to emails, work emails from home. The other one is on the surveillance measures on remote workers. However, I think even more so, the loss of the division between workplace and home life is expressed and reinforced by the preoccupation with wellness. Wellness initiatives mean that, in effect, employers are relating to us as social workers, financial advisors, and counselors. These interventions are usually carried out by HR, people like me and Rosie, and line management. The activities are endless, and I'm just going to name 3 of them, give you 3 examples. Pernod Ricard, for instance, partners with Unmind, a platform offering one-to-one counseling, talking therapy, meditation, and stress relief resources. Southwest Railway are providing staff with trauma risk management to cope with traumatic events, including tools to support their mental health and recognize signs of distress in others. Aviva has specialists that offer menopausal support and has launched an internal colleague podcast entitled Me, You, and Taboo, discussing eating disorders, pregnancy loss, infertility, so on and so forth. Aviva's chief people officer actually put it very nicely. Wellness in work is not about giving you bowls of fruit. It is about practical interventions and nudges. Now, the nudging is not about the work you do, the role you've been employed for. The nudging is about getting you to understand how to be well, often by sharing your feelings, your emotions, your ups and downs with your line manager, with HR, or perhaps your therapist at work. It's about being transparent about your whole self. Furthermore, the wellness agenda reinforces the regressive cultural trend, the undermining of adults taking responsibility for themselves. For example, some employers offer financial advice. Capita, for instance, has given its employees use of an app which is all about teaching you how to save. Sainsbury's wellness champions keep an eye on colleagues to see if anyone looks tired, are they putting on weight, and if so, they intervene and advise you where they can get help. At PwC, employees are encouraged to eat vegan lunches. Eat peas, they say. It actually reminds me of my father, who, when we were kids, used to sit with us with a cane in his hand, making sure we ate our greens. See, in the past, we learnt these life skills and behaviors as part of growing up from our parents, our children, not children, but school, and from our friends. Now, we know that today, lots of young people are not socialized in the same way and feel vulnerable as they enter into adulthood. But then what happens at the workplace perpetuates that infantilized culture. Employers assuming responsibility for our wellness deters us from taking control of our lives. Today, when so much in society is viewed via the prism of wellness, in itself actually a very vague and subjective concept, it is not surprising that so many employers have adopted this open-ended way of relating to their staff. So my beef with it all is that by patronizing us, it undermines and weakens our personal autonomy.